So it is with enormous pleasure that I welcome a friend and colleague of mine. This, as I say, is Renée Hutcherson Lucier, and she is someone I've known for quite a while now. She is also one of the coaches that we work together as part of the In It Together coaches. So we have a lot of work time together as well as a close personal relationship. And Renée is launching our Stories of Transformation program. So this is about people going through life transformations and discovering more about themselves and also how their strengths help them in those transitions and changes. And I invite all of you, as you listen to Renée speak today, to look out for her character strengths and see. It'll be interesting. She's also got a focus on character strengths, so she will probably highlight some herself, but see what you notice that maybe she hasn't spotted yet. And with that, I'm going to hand over to you, Renée.
All right.
And welcome.
Well, thank you. Hello to you, my friend. Please allow me to first humbly thank Ruth and Ryan for the joy of being here with you today. And to say that I'm honored is quite an understatement. I know that there are several people who are joining in from all around the world, and perhaps several more who will be reading the replay. And so, listening into the replay. And so I just want to welcome each one of you. Welcome. I'm excited about our time together and what we'll share. I do want to...
Renée?
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you so soon.
Okay.
Something is rattling against your microphone.
Something is. Okay. Sure. All right, let's see.
Yeah, and then you were moving something around before and it was kind of interfering with the screen.
Right. Oh, I saw that. Okay, let's see. Where is... All right, is that a little better?
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I want to remind you all to write the character strengths that you hear in the chat box. And I am going to share how leaning into my character strengths actually catapulted me through the greatest adversity of my life. I can't wait to see your perspective on things. I think that's how we grow in sharing other perspectives. And now, on a particular Friday evening in 2007, my 3 children were playing outside, and I could hear the euphoria of their little giggles all about the house. I was inside preparing dinner. And since my husband, my first love, my husband of 14 years, who was my first love, wasn't quite home yet, I let them play. And I delighted in just listening to them as they played. There's something very special about the giggles of little children. So there was no rush, and dinner wasn't quite ready. And so in the moments that...
Renée, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we're still getting that sort of drumming sound, like it's your keyboard or your mouse or something is making a noise. Sorry.
So sorry. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not touching the keyboards. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Do you hear it now?
Not right this moment, but it seems once you get going, I can hear it. So I don't know if you're holding something in your hand or something like that, are you?
Well, I am. Well, I'm holding something on the on my keyboard on my computer.
Yeah, it may be that the computer mic is picking up the sound.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. This is part of strengths spotting, is that we figure this out as we go along. So my apologies. So
right,
you were letting the children play.
So let's see. Hopefully you whoops. Hang tight. All right, let's see. I was talking about my children playing, wasn't I? Okay, let's see here. Now, anything? Do you hear anything? Okay, maybe that's it. All right, so the children were playing outside. I was preparing dinner. Dinner wasn't quite ready. And my husband, my first love, husband of 14 years, wasn't home yet. And so I let the children play. It ends up that it was a good thing that the children were outside. In the moments that ensued when my husband did come home, the conversation was quite devastating. Normally, I try to hold it together in front of the children, but on this day, I wasn't able to hold myself together. My husband shared that he had one ticket for one entire week in the Dominican Republic, and when he got back, he would let me know if we would remain married. Whew. He stated with a voice filled with ease that I had no choice in his decision. And so I have to tell you, I was blinking back tears with a heart that was just pounding and filled with agony. And I struggled to find my breath. I don't remember dinner that night. I don't remember the nightly adventure that I looked forward to most nights, taking care of my children, bathing them and getting them ready for bed. But what I do remember is my shock, my disgust, and the fear that I felt that entire night. And I do remember being void of emotion the next day as I watched my beloved leave early in the morning for his trip. I do remember the excruciatingly long, painful, and lonely week that was ahead of me. I do remember the eyes of my children who had no idea what was going on. I do remember begging to find my hope as if it belonged to me. Well, at the end of 1 week, just as promised, I remember having to explain to my 3 children that Daddy was gone and that our lives would forever be different. Yes, it was a tough week. And it was tough because at the end of that week, everything that I feared was now coming true. And if that wasn't enough, outside of my home, the United States was being thrown into the Great Recession. And there was more devastation to come. I remember I lost my job. After 20 years of building up and achieving my goals, I lost my dream career. I lost our family home. I lost every source of income that my husband and I had worked to build. I lost the children's accounts. But I also lost my peace, my joy, my ability to dream, everything I believed in and plans I'd made for the future. But the cherry on top I lost my children for 1 year as they went to live with their father because I had nothing left inside to give them. So I was facing homelessness and the exhausting of every single asset that I had worked to build. Not to mention my mental stability and my hope. I have to tell you that everything that meant everything to me was now gone. And so I began acting on compulsions to end my life. Well, my father stepped in just in the nick of time before I would be walking on the streets of Atlanta. Staying in Daddy's home certainly brought me back to life. You see, in Daddy's care, I was reminded who I was. I was put in touch with the purpose of my life, and I was reminded that I have something inside of me to give to the world. And it was in Daddy's home that I actually remembered that when I was growing up, I used to sneak away to the closet. There was this closet in a guest room. It was forbidden, but that closet called out to me. And I went. And somehow in that closet, hiding away for hours, I would dream. I would be reminded of what I wanted for myself and what I hoped for. And in fact, I would sing. I had pretend friends, and I had a microphone where I was talking to crowds of people who loved me, accepted me, and laughed at everything I had to say. And this was long before Oprah, let me tell you. I was reminded when I lived in Daddy's home of that closet and everything I experienced dreaming and believing in someday. And I also remembered in that closet dreaming about the home, the husband, and the children that I would have one day. Well, I found my passion in that closet when I was a little girl. I found joy, acceptance, hope, and meaning for my life. And in Daddy's home, it ended up being an extension of that closet time. I fell in love with life again. I found me. I rediscovered the truth that my life is important, that I truly do have something to give to someone. Well, Daddy helped me remember. He poured into me daily. He reminded me who I was at my core. He put me in touch with being grateful for the gift of my life, considering the trauma from different perspectives and finding understanding. He reflected on what happened to me and showed me that I should embrace the lessons that failure brought me. He showed me how to forgive, not just somebody else, everybody else, but me. He showed me that giving to others helps me to understand and to see the impact I can bring in the world and on other people. He helped me to understand, to accept who I am and to stand boldly and courageously declaring who I am not. He helped me to understand that I should demonstrate love in every moment that I have, which is a gift. He helped me see that I needed to unleash my creativity and empower myself through creating something. He showed me allowing my natural sense of optimism should actually color everything I do. And there was so much more that I learned from my daddy. Sadly, it was Daddy's final and greatest act. He died while I was there in his home, but the lessons he gave me, well, I am giving to the world. I thought that who I was in the closet growing up was everything external to the me that I believed to be, myself to be. Daddy showed me that who I was in that closet and in the closet of his home was everything that I truly am inside. And so I can stand up today and boldly declare, this is who I am. That closet helped me to discover my path and helped me to open the door to release me. Even after all the devastation, I've learned. I've got smiles inside of me that other people need to see. My life is unrecognizable today, just as Daddy said it would be. I am so thankful. The gratitude inside me bubbles up and pours over. I am thankful for each moment that I have. And I share with other people how gratitude truly catapults you beyond your circumstances. In fact, every lesson that I learned through those traumatic moments empowers me today. Those character strengths that I leaned into while at my daddy's help push me through the most difficult moments of my life. And so for every moment of torment that I experienced, I now creatively fashion powerful tools to help other people push through. For every overwhelming emotion that I endured, I now sit with and allow other people to see how they can use those emotions to push their way through as well. For every single mistake that I made, every failure that I experienced, and ones that I forgive myself for, I now use to celebrate the wisdom, the power, and the believable joy that I have on this side. So every single character strength that I leaned into, first with my dad helping me to see, and then powerfully standing and trusting and believing in myself, I'm able to use these gifts to give other people the power to push through their adversity and their difficult moments as well. So I encourage you to lean into your character strengths, develop those character strengths, and allow them to catapult you to the other side of the person that you were created to be. Thanks so much. Ruth, are you there? And you're on mute.
I am. I had to be on mute because there was a little bit of sniffling going on over here. Sorry, let me just get rid of this call.
That's okay.
So, unfortunate timing. Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. And there were some wonderful comments, some great character strength spotting going on while you were talking, as people saw everything from gratitude and creativity to hope and humor and spirituality and leadership and teamwork. One question that came up, if it's okay for us to ask a question, I know you also have a sort of mindful moment meditation for us. One question that Lisa asked was, you also faced that trauma of losing your father at that time. So what took you forward through that?
Thank you, Lisa. I have to breathe because people come into our lives for so many beautiful reasons. And my father was very instrumental in raising me directly. He was just one of those parents that just had a very guiding hand. In fact, he was the one I went to when I had problems in high school, when sometimes people have no one to turn to. But during that time, when I felt like, okay, life is settling down and there are no more balls flying at me, that was a serious blow. But I tell you that once again, I leaned into gratitude. I leaned into hope and just the wisdom that Daddy left me. I saw, because of my spirituality, I saw God's hand, that if my father had passed away prior to, I definitely would have been walking the streets homeless. If he had passed away any moment prior, while I was still being nurtured and being reminded, who else to remind you of who you are than the person who gave life to you, right? So I was just very grateful, to Daddy for just his perspective. I mean, he had this thing he would say, Daddy's from Texas, and he would say, "Sugar, you couldn't be anywhere else than right where you are." And it was those sayings and the way that he would say things, he would just, see through you sometimes. But it was those things, the spirituality, gratitude, and just the wisdom that just surrounded me, that gave me hope. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Renee. And Lisa also made the comment as you were talking about your closet. And I so love the story about the closet, because I too had a closet that I don't talk about. It was actually in the bedroom, and it was my father's closet. And I used to go and sit inside because I loved the smell. I loved the smell of his work clothes and his shoes. And I used to sit on top of his shoes, close the door from the inside because I could turn the latch from the inside. And I would sit in there for hours. So it really took me back when you were saying that. And Lisa made the comment, we usually talk about coming out of the closet. But the closet is a place to be protected, to dream, and from which to emerge when we're strong enough to share who we are.
Absolutely.
Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Lisa.
So, Renee, I think you have a meditation for us, right?
I do. Let me plug in my microphone so you can hear it.
And I think you said you created this just for us.
Okay, before I start it, I'd like to give you as my gift a guided manifestation strategy for summoning your own breakthrough. It is a 5-minute practice, and it's purposefully focusing your attention in this moment. And this moment is a gift to you, so let's not forget that. The principles used in this strategy will fortify your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions, and your will. And so wholesome outcomes will be enabled by you. Let's start by taking a slow, deep breath. Inhale and exhale. As you continue breathing deeply, Feel yourself becoming more and more relaxed. Continue breathing. Let your mind, your body, and your emotions come to a place of peace. I invite you to let go of every single concern. You may move around, you may close your eyes, you may stretch, you may do whatever feels comfortable to you in this moment. It is yours. But allow your mind to embrace the words I speak as little hugs of joy.
And now I invite you to become aware of your breath. Realize the gift of this moment. Gently open your eyes and breathe deeply. Inhale and exhale. Become aware of your surroundings. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, giving gratitude for all that is yours. Acknowledge that you are right in this moment, basking in love and filled with promise. I invite you to look around you for the character strength that you choose to use. It is there. Now, breathe deeply and release it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Blessings to you.